Here come the Tigers.
Mama raised a tiger, daddy raised a tiger. They say they gon' kill me. I went and got my rifle. Shout out to Big Tiger. Shout out to Big Tiger. Shout out to my tiger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, y'all? I'm Puda, the voice of the Tigers. With me, as always, Coach Dre Trosclair.
What's up, man?
Hello. Week 5 of the football season.
Yep.
Week 7 of the show. And we'll start off talking about Week 4 game against East St. John.
Yep.
We lost.
Yeah.
Tough loss.
Very.
Well, let's get into these offensive stats right quick.
Okay.
Braden Becknell, 16 for 35, 172 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
Yeah. Other than that one throw that kind of got away from him, scrambling around, kind of threw it up for grabs. I thought he played decent. You know what I mean? I didn't think he had a bad night
Right.
by any stretch. He was pressured a ton. He was rarely sitting back there in a clean pocket.
Right.
So for a kid like him that's this young, that's tough.
Yeah.
Whenever you don't have much time to set your feet and keep your eyes downfield, you start looking at that rush in front of you, and that gets in the player's head. You know what I mean? So the timing of everything gets thrown off just for the fact that he's not back there confident in seeing what he's seeing. He's also worried about I need to get out the pocket pretty quickly as well too. So we got to do a better job in pass protection. Offensive line knows that. Not taking away nothing from those guys. It was a good football team that we played.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not world beaters. It's not an NFL team that we went to their place and played them. That's high school kids. You know what I mean? So we got to find a way, and we got to stop making excuses. That's kind of our big thing right now. I think that we got to turn the corner on. Just kind of say, yeah, hey, that team's just better than us. You know what I mean? So that's not something that I want our guys to have a mindset of thinking. Whether it be true or not, we can't think that.
Right.
Whenever we head into a football game, we got to think we're a better football team. We got to think that we can handle them no matter who they put out there in front of us. And that's just part of the culture shift and part of the change that's ongoing right now. And it's a process that takes some time. But we'll get there. You know what I mean? We'll get there. But yeah, as far as Braden and his game statistically, thought he had a decent night.
All right, rushing. Meyer Griffin, 8 carries, 53 yards. Dominic Blanchard, 5 carries, 8 yards. And Braden had 10 for 8 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, didn't think we ran the football well, obviously. Don't think we've run the football well this season. On the season, I was looking at the overall season stats. We're under 400 yards rushing through 4 games. That's
Right.
just not going to win a ton of football
Right.
games, and we're 1-3. You know what I mean? So that's something that we got to improve. But again, it starts up front. Backs have to hit the holes when they're there. They can't be, dancing in the backfield, things like that. We got to hit a hole. We got to fall forward. But yeah, I mean, on the 2 drives that we scored, we had success running the football.
Right.
So like our offense looks like a completely different unit when we're moving the football on the ground and not being in 2nd and 13s. 3rd and 14s, 3rd and 9s.
That's killer.
It's just been an Achilles heel for us offensively so far this year. And look, we want to run the football. We want to run the football. I know in the grand scheme of the play calls and like what people are seeing right now, it looks like we're probably a little bit more pass happy than we are run. But that's all situational based stuff
definitely.
right now. But we want to run the football. We want to run the ball more than we throw the football. But that's just something right now that we're not having a ton of success early on doing and early downs. And then when you get behind the scoreboard, it's not as easy to come back by just keeping it on the ground and grinding that clock out. So we try to make some chunk plays happen in the air. But we'll get better, man. It's a process, and it's something that we got to continue to work on. We worked on it a ton this week. And tomorrow night we expect to have a lot of success running the football. that's a big part of our game plan.
Definitely. All right. Receiving, Bryson Woods, 2 for 27. Dominic Blanchard, 9 for 87. Kyron Foss, 2 for 37 and a touchdown. JT, 1 for 5. And Seontae Jones, 1 for 16.
Yeah, thought the receivers did an okay job last week. Obviously, I thought Dom had a fantastic game. He did a lot of stuff for us, man. He was in the slips on some of the slip screens and some of the slow screens. Really worked the ball downfield at him as much as we could. So I thought he had a great week. But yeah, overall, man, we just got to be more precise in our spacing of the field at the receiver position, and that's something that we work on every single day in practice. And just understanding the concepts and what we're trying to accomplish, and realizing not every route is for you to get the ball. If you can clear a defender out with your route, that opens up for someone else. So it's just one of those things, man. We got a young team. They don't understand that yet, no matter how much you tell them. They just don't get that yet. It doesn't make sense to them. Because, it's a thing generationally right now where it's just kind of a, hey, I want the ball. I'm running this route to get the ball. And sure, you should run your route with the anticipation of getting the football, but you can't freestyle stuff in the middle of the route because that takes defenders into other people's route, which destroys the entire concept of what we're trying to do. And if the spacing's not good and the timing on the routes isn't good, the timing from the quarterback's going to be off, which makes the timing of the entire play thrown off. So I think that's the biggest thing we're struggling with in the passing game is just the timing and the spacing of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. They just, all right, why are we not running this? Why are we not running the ball? It
looks like he was open. He probably was. But we gotta get the timing down. We gotta have time in the pocket to see it. The other route has to clear before that one comes open. Things like that.
And
it's like, did that one come open when he threw that ball and that defender left that guy, and now that guy looks like he's open, or is he actually open? Things like that.
Yeah. And that could be hard on a young quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's grinding, man.
He's definitely working. All right. Overall offensive stats: 23 rush attempts, 69 yards, 3 yards per carry. 35 pass attempts, 172 yards, 10.75 yards per completion. 58 total plays, 241 total yards, 4.15 yards per play. Only 2 penalties. They cleaned that up a good bit.
Yeah.
8 sacks, 67 yards, and a turnover.
That hurt. Yeah. That's part of the offense where we can't have that. That puts us behind the chains, and that's not, sacks on the same drive. That's like 8 different drives of that was the killer.
Right.
And that when you only get maybe 10 to 12 possessions a game, you can't have 8 sacks. You know what I mean? You just can't. That's going to be a terrible, terrible thing for the offense. And anytime you have under 250 yards total with 58 plays, not doing something right. So we got to do a much better job of executing and being an offense that is a cohesive unit and everybody works together going in the same direction. But still too many assignment busts and things like that. So we're going to continue to improve, though. We are not going to stop working. We're going to pursue it relentlessly until we figure it out.
I know that's right. All right, defense. Amari and Sadal.
Play the game.
Sadal, that's how you say that, right? 11 total tackles, 7 solo, 4 assists, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack. Yeah. And he was named Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, man, he had a great week. He's done a tremendous job over there since we moved him. He started off with the offense in the fall camp, and we just figured, he's too good of an athlete to have not on the field. So moving the defense took him a couple weeks to get acclimated, but since he's joined the starting lineup on that side of football, I think he's played really well.
Yeah,
he's a big-time difference maker just in what he can do at the outside linebacker spot and the way he moves and the way that he plays. Just a ton of energy, high motor, and he's a good athlete, really good player. He played really well last week, and it was fun to see him kind of flying around making plays in a game where we didn't have a ton of it.
All right. We got Rashad back.
Yep.
First game back after missing 2.
Yeah.
6 total tackles, 5 solo, 1 assist, and 1 behind the line.
Yeah, I thought Rashad was a little rusty coming back. You know what I mean? He'll tell you he didn't play his best game. He was frustrated. But I expect that to be a lot different tomorrow night. You know, the rust is shaking off. He's back ready, back acclimated, ready to go. So he's gonna have a great night tomorrow night.
All right, read off the others. False 5 tackles, 4 solo, 1 assist. Leonard 5 total, 4 solo, 1 assist. I'm gonna try and say it tonight. Vaskalauskas.
Close.
Close? All right. Anyway, 2 total, 2 solo. Conrad 2 total, 2 solo. Bangura 6 and 4. Tyler, oh yeah, and a pick.
And a pick.
My bad. England 5 for 3. Let's see, 5 total, 3 solo. Howard 3 total, 2 solo.
Good
Austin Jones,
Charles finally came back.
Yeah, I know he was excited. And he was limited, right?
Yeah, he was limited. He was on a pitch count. Now that's going to be going this week. I think he got a good bit of his conditioning back, and that was all conditioning based, just because he wasn't in shape to play a full quarter football game. But yeah, man, it was nice having him back. Obviously, the defensive line missed him. And we expect him to have a good night tomorrow.
I'd been talking to him like when I come for practice and stuff, and you could tell he was itching to get back in.
Definitely.
Last week when I came, he was like, "I'm back."
Yeah.
He was like, "Rashad, I'm back."
He was excited.
They was excited.
No doubt.
That's awesome. Austin Jones 6 total, 4 solo, and a sack.
Yeah, Austin's having a great year for us, man. Austin really is like on the stat sheet each and every week at the D-line spot. He's making a ton of plays.
Yeah. Was it Ashermeyer?
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn these names, and you didn't write them down today. So.
Oh yeah, I got you the abbreviation.
3 total, 2 solo, and an assist. Stepter is Derek Stepter. 3 total, 2 solo, and an assist. And Anderson,
Tyrell.
2 total.
Yeah.
Tyrell. And 2 solo.
So this was our worst night defensively. Obviously on the season, we did not play well. Thought we had a good plan in place. But that's something that we got to do a better job of executing. But you look at the game at halftime, it's 21-7. We missed a field goal, so it could have easily been 21-10. And that's a game that you feel like you're still in that ball game, obviously, in a 2-possession game. But then just coming out of halftime, we just couldn't sustain drives. And then another thing is, man, when a defense is out there against an offense that's as explosive as East St. John is, you got to stay on the field offensively.
Yeah.
And that's just something that we didn't have a lot of success doing. That's the result of the game, because if the offense can't stay on the field and the defense is going to be out there all night, they got playmakers that'll make you pay for it. And
they did. All right. Total stats for the defense. Rushing, 25 carries for 107 yards, 4.28 yards per play. Passing, 19 for 30, 391 yards, 3 touchdowns. 50% on third down. We did get 3 sacks and an interception.
Yep.
Total yards, 498 total yards, 55 plays, 9.05 yards per play, and they had 2 penalties for 10 yards.
Yeah.
Or was that on us?
No, that was on us.
That
was the first time we come anywhere close to giving up 500 yards of offense in the season. I think previously the highest we gave up was around like 250. So off night for the defense, but expect them to come back, hungry and ready to go tomorrow.
I know they mad.
Yeah.
All right, special teams. Not a lot for the special teams this week, but Zach 2 for 2 on PATs.
Yep.
He missed
probably about a 37-ish yarder. Just missed it. Right,
it was
just left it.
Right, it was close. Kickoff, Dylan Albert 1 total, 1 touchback, 1 onside kick. We didn't recover it, and Zach 1 sky kick for 45 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan punted 7 punts for 256 yards with a 36.5 yard average.
Yeah, he had a good night punting the ball, but that's something that you don't want to say.
Yeah.
Because it means you're punting the ball.
Right, because it means you're punting the ball.
Yeah, so great night by him. He did do a good job flipping the
He
field
was
position.
the special teams player of the week.
But we got to be better offensively.
And 1 inside the 10-yard line.
Yep.
Punt return, we had 1 for 0 yards. Kickoff, 1 for 0. Braden Arsenault. Bryson Woods, 6 for 98. And Kyron Falls, 1 for 15.
Yeah, special teams wasn't fantastic. Obviously, we're still having issues catching the football when it's in the air.
Right.
In the punt return and the kick return stuff, which is something that we just can't afford to do. Field position is way too important in this game to be giving up chunks of yardage by not doing something as simple as catching the football in the air. And it's something we work every single day. So, yeah, as a group, as a whole, all three phases, we've got to continue to get better. And, that's why we go out there every single day. We put the work in, and eventually you're going to see the results start to speak for themselves. But we're doing what we can do right now.
Right.
And in a tough stretch of our schedule, obviously. Got another really good opponent tomorrow night. But our guys are excited to play. We're excited to try and go get a win tomorrow night at our home stadium in front of a big old crowd in Thibodaux. So, yeah, the excitement's definitely at an all-time high for this game. And it was for each and every game. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We treat all games the same, but obviously, that's kind of a cliche thing. This one's a little different tomorrow night for sure.
Battle of Thibodaux.
Yeah.
Battle of Thibodaux.
No doubt.
We'll get into the freshman and JV played last night at EDW.
Yeah.
Both came up short.
Yeah, not great showings by either team. Not great. But we had a chaotic day yesterday during the school day, and then releasing them and then bringing them back. And anytime you put high school kids out of their routine, things usually kind of get a little crazy. Now, they handled it well. Obviously, they did the best job that they could. And when they were back, there was no silliness and things like that. Like, we came back, we practiced, went through our regular routine, had a pretty good day. But just anytime you go through something like that, it's just a little bit different. And not making excuses. We didn't go out there and play well. But, with the type of offense that they run, when you're in freshman ball with the JV, things like that, that's not something that those guys are getting a ton of reps against. Those guys are the scout team guys that are running that offense for your varsity guys to have a great plan on Friday night. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough spot to play those guys anywhere in freshman and JV when you're not used to seeing that dive option pitch with the quarterback and the wing back. But, yeah, I thought early on, till late in the freshman game, late in the fourth quarter, it's 8-0. Yeah. Offense just couldn't get anything going. Just the guys up front didn't do a great job opening up holes or giving time. Yeah. And that's something that we got to get better with. The offensive line, in all three phases of our programs, just got to get a lot better, and they will as they get more accustomed to the system and the schemes and what we're trying to do and their footwork. They got to get better in the weight room. They got to get stronger. That's something that we talked to the freshmen about last week in the film session when we were watching their game, was just the difference in strength from some of our opponents compared to what we are.
I know you're working on that.
So we're going to get all that fixed.
I know you're working on that.
Yeah, but, I thought overall, freshman defensively, it wasn't an awful night for me.
No.
But offense-wise, we got to get much better and just be more explosive. But you can't do that unless you got some time to do it.
All right. Tomorrow night, Battle of Thibodaux at Tiger Stadium.
Yep.
Thibodaux High versus EDW.
Yeah, very exciting game. Obviously for me, obviously for our guys in our locker room, our school, the community. It's a big game. It's been talked about all week. You know what I mean? And our guys have been hearing it. So we intend to go out there and have a great night tomorrow night. Our guys are excited to play. I'm excited to coach in it. It's just going to be a really big night for everybody in Thibodaux. I expect to kind of shut down tomorrow night and everybody to be here in attendance. Even if it's standing room only, man, come stand on the track. Yeah. Be out here and experience two good football teams playing against each other for bragging rights for our calendar year.
Hoo-wee.
Ready to go.
Should be an electric night. It should be popping tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But, hey, anything else?
Nope. Just want to see everybody out there, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all make sure y'all come on time, come early. You'll be able to get out there and tailgate and things like that.
Have a few tailgates,
They'll have
DJ.
some people with some spots hooked up and things like that. So y'all come out, man. Bring the kids. Have a good time.
Thibodaux, EDY, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter, man. Yeah, y'all come out and have a great time.
Y'all both come with us. Y'all both come hang.
I think we'll have a great game tomorrow night against a good football team.
I agree. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Go Tigers.